Good morning, eighth graders. So, we are going to be calculating our water footprint today. So, in Schoology, there is a link, but if it's not working or whatever, we are looking at watercalculator.org today. So, that's what's going on. Let's find our water footprint. So, how many people live in your household? So, very, very similarly to the carbon footprint calculator, I want you to choose the household that if your grown-ups are separated, choose the household that you spend the most amount of time in or the one that you just prefer. So how many people live in your household? For me, I have 3 people who live in my household. So that now, if it's just you and a grown-up, if it is you and a couple of siblings and a grown-up, it only goes, I'd say that it only went up to 5. It basically is however many people you want, but I'm just going to go down to my 3. So that is my household. You do it for your household. How long is the average shower in your household? Now, I'm not saying go and start timing your siblings on how long that they're taking in the shower, but make an honest sort of a guess. I'll admit, we take some longer showers. So 11 to 15 minutes. If it's over 15 minutes, I mean, like, hey, you do you. Under 5 minutes, I want to know your secret. So that. Do you have a low flow shower head? Now, if you have a low flow shower head, the only way you really would know, unless you were the one who purchased your, your fixtures, is if you have fixtures that have at least been replaced in the last 10 years. Okay. A lot of companies have gone to low flow shower heads within the last 10 years or so. So we do. Okay. Do you take baths? And if so, how often? Now, first of all, when we do this, so this is for your entire household. If you have younger siblings, they more than likely the way that they bathe is in a bath rather than a shower. In our household, Mr. G makes fun of me and it makes me really sad now that I look at it. I account for about 10% of our water usage, and that's just for my baths. So I take about 2 baths a week myself, usually on the weekends. Now make sure you're looking at this. You could do it by day. You could do it by week. You could do it by month. You could do it by year. Okay. But for me, it's easier to think weeks. So I take 2 baths a week. And then Will takes about 1, maybe 2 baths per week. So I'll go on the heavier side. So if we have about 4 baths going each week in our household. So that make sure that you're answering for your entire household, and yeah. Okay. How long do you leave the bathroom faucet running each day? So this is when you are brushing your teeth, shaving your face, washing your hands, all of that sort of stuff. So probably all in all, and when I think about days where we're home all day, because obviously we spend a lot of our time at schools, we're looking at probably 11 to 30 minutes for our bathroom faucets. If you think about washing your hands, I don't know. Now that just seems like a lot. Because I'm trying to no, probably that 5 to 10 minutes is good. Washing your hands, brushing your teeth, because we all turn off the water while we brush our teeth. Yeah, no. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes. I second guess myself. So, does your bathroom sink have a low flow faucet? Again, if you have a fixture that is newish within the last 10 years, you probably do. If you have no idea, just hit no. The worst is that it gives you a larger number in the end, and you just know, hey, I have something to work on. Do you let it mellow? This is something that I grew up with. My mom, I have a septic tank now, but my mom had a septic tank at her house, and it was not large enough for the size of family we had in our home. To where we had the rule, if it was yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. To where, yes, growing up, we did not flush every time we peed. And all of this or whatever. Now, Will's bad about this, but he's 6. But no, now I would say that we're really good. about like as soon as we use the restroom, we flush it down. So low flow toilets. Again, if your house was built or remodeled after 1994, you probably have a low flow toilet. Um, so if your toilet is not a different color, because I feel like after 94, we didn't do like the pink or the yellow or the blue toilets anymore. So if your toilet is a color, then no, you don't have a low flow toilet. If you have, like, if your house was built after 1994, you have a low flow. So for the most part, we all probably have low flow toilets. So do you have one? Yep. How long do you leave the kitchen faucet running each day? Now, this one can be hard. You really have to think about how do you or your grown-ups do dishes. So yes, I have a dishwasher, but there are just some things that either A, don't fit in the dishwasher, or B, can't be put in the dishwasher. So I try to let those pile up a little bit before I do any like actual like hand wash dishes. But this includes like washing your hands when you're cooking. It involves like just rinsing off plates and whatnot. So we probably hit about 5 to 20 minutes each day, depending on what did G make for dinner that night. Okay. If you let it run while you clean or cook, you're letting gallons of water run down the drain. It happens. So does your kitchen sink have a low flow faucet? Again, if your home was built or remodeled after 1994, you probably do. So I know we do. How do you do your dishes? So you have the option of old school dishwasher, water energy efficient dishwasher with my own two hands, or trash them and eat them out. Okay. Now this is real for some people, which if that's you, hey, you do you, boo boo. So that your old school dishwasher, again, after about 1995, you probably don't have an old school dishwasher. To know if you have a water or energy efficient, if you can find a blue star on any of your appliances, it is water and energy efficient. Most appliances, again, if you've remodeled in the last like 5 or 10 years, they're energy efficient. So we do have a dishwasher, and I do dishes by hand. So I do probably about one load of hand wash dishes per week. And then I run my dishwasher probably 3 times a week, but there's only 3 of us in our house. So it's really easy to kind of like keep it small. So that some of you, this might be off. Some of you might not have dishwashers, which is fine. My mom doesn't have a dishwasher, so she likes to joke that she has 4 of them because she has 4 kids. So, joke's on her. She's an empty nester now. So yeah. Anyway, this is how do you do dishes? How do you do laundry? Again, old school is basically if you have a washer and dryer that look like they were the very first washers and dryers of your whole life. Okay. Most of us probably have a water energy efficient washing machine that we use. Some of us might be going to the laundromat. I would also consider this like if you have a communal washer and dryer in an apartment building. Okay. So I have a washing machine in my home. We do about 4 loads per week in total. It's really, really easy now that we're getting into lighter weather to where it's mainly just shorts and t-shirts coming from my boys and not my big bulky sweaters from over this winter. So we do about 4 per week. Just kind of think about, what do your grown-ups do at home? Do you have a gray water system installed in your home? So a gray water system allows households to reuse water from sinks, showers, and washing machines for outdoor watering. This can save about 40 gallons. So if you live in an apartment building, no. If you live in a single family home, probably not. It's not super duper common. It's one thing that I wish we more so had, but no, unfortunately we do not. Do you water your lawn or grass? Again, if you live in an apartment, easy peasy. No. If you live in a single family home, you do have to think about these summer months that are coming up. Do you put a sprinkler out? Do you have an irrigation system? Things like that. Or do you just say, hey, when it rains, it rains? Okay? We do water our lawn. This is where a majority of our water usage comes into play, just so you're aware. So yes, Mr. G gives me grief for being 10% of our water bill come like winter months, but he is like 90% of the bill come summer months. So, how much water do you use? You have to kind of think about what is your plot of land look like. So, for us, we live on an acre. And now, granted, we're not watering the entire acre. We're probably down here a little bit, but it's a lot of space. So that in the summer months, we do water it once a day. And all this. You can kind of like figure it out by year or month. But I'm going to put this because this is what our water looks like, especially in these summer months that are to come. So it takes about 600 gallons of water to water 1,000 square feet at a depth of 1 inch. And if you are trying to get new grass to establish, you need to get it down like 2 inches. So if that tells you where we've been at for the last couple of years. So, do you landscape with plants that require little to no water? So these would be more of those natural grasses and things like that. We don't yet. I want to, but yeah. Do you have a rain barrel? This is super cool. If you do, I want to talk to you. I want to get one installed hopefully this summer, but a rain barrel. We don't at this point in time, but this could really help with cutting down your water usage because you do collect the water that naturally comes through precipitation. Do you have a swimming pool? Now, if you do, I'm a little out of my depth, but I'll help you out a little bit. If you don't, like us, you hit no. So if you do, this is how many months of the year do you keep it covered? We're probably looking at like 9 months, right? So that's about all that it's asking for. So now I'm going to change it because I don't. Do you have a car? Yes. How else would I get around? Now, this is for your home, not just you. How do you get your car wash? Well, self-service, which is like you get out of the car, you spray it down, all that. Drive-through, you don't have to get out of your car for nothing. The garden hose at home. Okay, we go through drive-throughs. I'm not that great about washing my car. It's probably like 1 time per month in the summer. It's a little more often in the winter to keep the salt off. So yeah, there's that. Now this is the virtual one. This one gets really interesting because it's things you don't think about that uses water. So how many miles do you drive per week? And this includes carpooling miles, things like that. We per week are probably looking less than 200, but I'll do 200 just for like a little bit of evenness. We're probably only at about 100 miles per week. Yeah, let's go down to that. I mean, we do in the summer travel a little more often, but overall, we're probably only traveling 100 miles per week between our house and Cheney and whatnot. So where do you live? North Dakota. This just wants to give an idea because obviously if you live in places like along the East Coast, you have a little bit shorter of a commute versus in North Dakota, we have quite a ways we have to drive between locations. Where does your energy come from? So at home would be green power. This would be if you have wind turbines or solar panels or things like that. We get 100% of our energy from Cass County Electric. How much do you shop? I don't shop till I drop anymore. I do like to shop and then shop for basics. If your household is on a budget and you're just groceries and the clothes you need to basically get through, that's basics. Excuse me. If you like to shop, this is probably like if you have a couple like new things now and then and things that are considered a little more frivolous or not necessary. So from your jeans to your phone to your furniture, like everything takes water. So I like to shop. Do you recycle paper? We recycle probably some of it. We don't recycle all of it, unfortunately. Do you recycle plastics? Again, some of it, not all of it, because for our recycling system to work here, we have to like really clean it. And there are some things where I'm like, it's not worth it. Not worth it. Bottles and cans, we are really good at recycling our bottles and our cans. So all of those. Do you donate or reuse old clothing, sheets, blankets, towels? Sometimes. Will's clothes used to be all the time. I would donate them or resell them back to be sold at a like lower price and things like that. Now that he is a little harder on his clothes, not so much. But yeah, sometimes. What is your diet? So for all three of us, so vegan is 0 meat product. Okay. Vegetarian is mainly vegetables, but a little bit of milk, cheese, eggs, but typically not like the actual flesh. We are omnivores in our house. Usually it's a meat and a side or whatever. So all three of us are meat eaters. So you can distribute your family with where they're at. Okay? How often do you eat meat? We eat meat probably twice a day in our house, lunch and supper. Granted, we eat primarily chicken rather than like beef, but that. How much do you spend on dog or cat food each month? If you have a pet, they cost you money and water. We don't have any pets, so we're not spending anything at this point in time, but like, pets get expensive. You go to Costco, you're spending like $45 on a bag of dog food. So, and that's Costco. So, 0. We don't have any pets that we are feeding currently. Okay, now these are just opinion questions. What are you most interested in? How to save water, helping the environment, saving money, getting my water footprint. Basically, you're just going to click getting my water footprint. You don't care about anything else. What do you most want to learn about? Now, this is totally a you call. Do you want to learn more about your indoor water use, outdoor water use, or your virtual water use? This one is honestly, I think, the most interesting because it's things we don't think of. We're not physically touching the water or seeing the water. So then it brings you to this. So personally, I use probably about 4,461 gallons of water per day between my clothing, my food, my actual like bathrooming and things like that. Our household is at about 13,384. The US average is only about 1,800. Now, why is mine so high? It primarily comes down to my outdoor water use. My indoor water use is actually very well maintained. We don't use a lot. But our lawn takes up a lot of that. And then we get into our like habits of shopping and our electricity and our diets. Animal-based diets are very water expensive. So and it kind of breaks it all down for you here. So take a peek at all of that sort of stuff. It's really interesting to see like where your water usage is going. So yeah, that is the water footprint calculator. So hopefully you find it as interesting as I do. But if you have any questions, please let your teachers know, and we're here to help. Anything else, just let me know. Thanks, guys.